Welcome to the Wisdom from Within podcast, where human stories inspire authentic connection and impactful leadership. My name is Jen Axe, and I am so psyched you're here. Let's get started.
Oh my God, I was dancing.
I know. I want to hear that music like forever and ever and ever. Oh my God. Okay. I am so beyond excited for this conversation. And I'm telling you, anyone that's listening to this is so freaking lucky right now. And I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm not exaggerating. I am truly beyond. This woman is going to empower the hell out of you. No pressure. Like her presence, her talent, her energy, she's phenomenal. And she has gone through the journey of being one thing and listening to her body and following that intelligence from within and shifting and pivoting and awakening and becoming this incredible talent that like hits the stage. Are you ready for this like physics mind brilliance into bassist, taught herself by the way, to the stage, who is making insane impact? And not just the stage, she really has made so much impact. I mean, on me personally, because I'm so incredibly inspired by your journey and your ability to listen to the wisdom from within. Let's go. What a perfect example. Okay. I am just really I'm going to read part of your bio. Your bio is really beautiful and robust and long. And I'm going to let you speak to so much of it, but I do want to introduce you properly and say, and I also want to really honor and make sure that I'm pronouncing your last name correctly. Elaz, right?
Yes, beautiful. Nice job.
Yes. Okay. Sara Elaz is an electric breakout artist in the jam scene, celebrated for her magnetic stage presence, instinctive bass playing, and bold style. A classically trained dancer turned bassist, her playing is physical, emotional, and rooted in her lifelong connection to movement. She's first picked up the bass in 2020, let's go, during the pandemic, and quickly gained attention by documenting her journey online, later launching her viral bass cam and fit check trends. Sara has also emerged as one of the most exciting new voices in the Grateful Dead universe, touring nationally with incredible people. She has shared the stage. She has shared her message. She is a woman who has taught herself and led herself on this incredible, inspiring journey. Sara, I'm so excited that you're here.
Yeah. I have chills.
Wow.
I feel like I know the story, but when hearing it out of someone else's mouth, it gives me the tingles.
You know what? That's your body speaking, because it's your story and it's something to be so damn proud of. So your body is like, yes, yes, hell yes. I love it. Okay. Let's just dive in. I want you to share with the listeners, just talk about your journey and where you started and just how you got here, and, through the lens of this body intelligence and how you listened and when you didn't and why it worked and when it didn't, and just share all the things.
Totally.
Take it away.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. All right. I mean, where do we start? I think
with
not
your
only because
yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, we
go back, girl, go back, because you've got an incredible, I just heard a bit, but like, the physics and like where you thought you belonged and what you were a part of. Yeah.
We got to go even farther back than that. Like where I want to start is being 3 years old.
Okay,
and
let's go.
Already knowing that I need to move. Being 3 years old and already being a performer and already being a dancer and already being someone that loves to share this joy and having this joy that's kind of seeping out of me. Mm-hmm. And that's really kind of where it starts is Sara the dancer.
Wow.
And Sara the mover and Sara the shaker and Sara the performer. Always from a young age, I was the one, the Simba and the Lion King, the one that was out front dancing, being silly, being performative, and just being joyful.
Mm-hmm.
And I am so lucky that I had the opportunity and the freedom to continue being a dancer for a long, long time, for whatever, 30 years. I got to dance and do that and share that love. And so that's kind of where it all starts for me. And
yeah. So
I still carry that with me. Yeah.
Clearly, I mean, your stage presence is phenomenal and you're so connected to your body. When I watch you play bass, I'm just like actually blown away by how you embody who you are. Were you always this? Was this always the path? I mean, you were a dancer from 3 years old, connected to your body, and then you went into academia, pretty heavy duty, right? You were on a path. You were on a path. I want you to share that story. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was a dancer for my whole life, competitive dance. It felt like a path, but of course it's hard to foresee. It's hard to look at a life that's funded by dance and the arts, right? Everyone, you tell someone you want to be a dancer when you grow up and they laugh and they say, okay, but what's your backup plan?
Right, exactly.
And so it's funny. Physics was not even my backup plan when I was looking to continue my education and go to college. Both my parents were engineers, so as a way to spite them, I was like, "Well, I don't want to be an engineer. I'm going to be a physicist."
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, which is so silly. And but I still had this love of kinetics. And I mean, what is physics but the study of being and the study of movement and the study of what is? And so it was just another way to look at the fluidity of life in the universe, was to study it mathematically. And so I went into college. Gorgeous. I actually wasn't dancing at the time. I decided I was going to not be a dancer anymore. I'm going to be a physicist. I'll probably continue my education, maybe get my PhD, work in a lab, be an engineer, who knows? And I get into college and there's a big hole in my heart, of course, because I'm not on stage anymore. And I think what happened is I tried out for the dance team and I didn't make it. And so I was like, all right, well, I guess I have to major in dance and physics and I have no other choice. So I had both of them at the same time. And it really kind of started this trend in my life where I'm always doing more than one thing at once. It's always both, I say. And that can be taken as ever you want. But I needed kind of this duality of extreme structure of physics and the math and the science and the homework with the freedom of dance and creation. And where I went to school, UMass Amherst, it was a wonderful dance program that we were studying improvisation in addition to ballet, modern, jazz, composition. We were doing and exploring these really beautiful psychedelic improvisational somatic practices that still informed not only what I do now, but it also informed my physics in a way. Like I got really passionate about the intersection between like Eastern mysticism and quantum mechanics. And there's so many similarities between what the math is telling us when you're studying the nature of existence and what Taoism and what Buddhism teaches. There is extreme overlaps between that and physics. Then you can, then you're kind of thinking about all these heady things and you're moving through it and you're exploring the world as a physical being and you're getting another side of the prism. And you're kind of it was all me just adding on to my curiosity about the world and about my body in the world and about my existence in the world. And all of it kind of had this beautiful pot of forming my life view and my worldview. Even if I'm not out here studying physics, it's a massive part of my worldview and my philosophy and and not only in what is the bigger picture, but how I make decisions, how I follow the energy, how that's what we're talking about, is how to trust your intuition and follow the energy and the movement. It's all, to me, goes back to quantum mechanics and physics.
Wow. Unbelievable. So now tell me about this world and this path. You were on it for a while, and what made you detour?
Totally. So I graduated from college and I had a physics degree and I had a dance degree. And I think immediately I knew that I needed to be a performer. I think I'm always driven by sharing and sharing my art. and being on stage is where I live and where I thrive and where I need to be it feeds me. And so I graduated school and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to be a professional dancer. So I moved to New York City with big dreams. And I had a blast. It was really, really special. I found myself not immediately, but pretty quickly in circles where I was doing work that I was really proud of. The longest running show I was in was a show called She, a choreo play. And it was a half contemporary dance show, half play that touched upon topics of sexual violence against women, touched upon police brutality, touched upon healing through movement. And it was a really beautiful show that I think changed a lot of people's lives and changed my life for sure. I was in the show for 5 years.
Wow.
And we would travel around, and not only would we showcase the show, but we would lead workshops about healing through movement. And we would be talking about these topics. And it was right around the time of the Me Too movement. So it was really timely work.
Wow.
And there was even like the first time Trump got elected, we had a show the next day. And I will never forget that show. Just the energy of the room. Like I still get like
chills
thinking about it.
Goosebumps. Oh.
And so, yeah, in this journey, there's a huge point, like 5 years of my life where it was devoted to being a dancer, mainly in spaces, social justice spaces.
Right.
Which it was a beautiful work. And I mean, we were doing beautiful dancing too. And I made the most amazing friends and connections.
Yes.
And it all kind of changed when that show got canceled. And I kind of was reaching an age where it was harder to get gigs as a dancer, because as a dancer, you time out at 30, right?
Right.
Your body hurts, everything. You're not the same anymore. And so that show got canceled, and I was simultaneously seeing more live music. And I was going to shows at Brooklyn Bowl, which, as you probably know, is my home now. I've played 20 shows there, but this is, at that time, that never even crossed my mind. And so probably, I guess, what year was that? Maybe this was a couple years before the pandemic. I was still a little bit away from playing bass. But then with that show gone and my dance career dwindling, I was seeing more live music and I was being in the audience. And I found a new dancer in myself, because at first I was on stage, right? And I was performing for people and I was showcasing my talents. I was being watched. And now I kind of went into this dancer role where I was always I was like a rail rider at the front of concerts. And my role as a dancer went from, okay, no, I'm not the one being watched anymore. But I noticed that when I dance really heavy, a lot of people around me are dancing too. So I almost became a dance ambassador in my own mind. Maybe this is just me.
This is fire.
Right?
I love it. Yeah.
Again, I could have just been smoking weed, but
right.
I think it does make sense that I mean, party motivators exist for a reason, right?
I was one, by the way. I was a
totally
party motivator for a long time. But go ahead.
I mean, you already know exactly. And so
Totally.
my role went from being on stage to being a dancer in the audience, but I felt that it was my job to be as authentically big as I could be. And I say I'm using the word authentically because I'm not saying that I was out there trying to over dance and, I don't know, do it for the spectacle of it. It was me feeling that it was now my duty to authentically dance big at shows so that other people felt comfortable to do the same.
Wow.
Because I think we live in a society where we're not taught to express ourselves in general. That's one statement, but especially not through our body. And I was given this gift of being a dancer. I had trained in it. I am so comfortable in my body that it's my pleasure to dance big and then have other people feel comfortable, do it around me, and it spreads. And all of a sudden there's a huge dance circle of 20 people going crazy. Yeah. And people experiencing true freedom maybe for the first time. And so I existed in that space for a while.
Okay. I want to pause here before we get to the pandemic, because that's a huge turning point for you. And I can't
we're
wait
not
for
even
you
at
to
the
share
good
this
part yet.
Well, this is all good. It's all really incredible. I am so taken by the level of connection you have with your body and your mind. Like, you have really bridged this beautiful, deep understanding that is very, very rare through using your mind and the study of physics, but connecting it to your body in such an extraordinary way is incredibly inspiring. I actually would love for you to share a little bit about that shift, because when we spoke earlier, you were telling me when you were in that physics world, and like also now knowing the power of the connection between your mind and body through this journey is even more profound. But you had said that you really experienced some sexism in this world. And I'm so, and like just sort of this dominated, well, you can talk about it, the energy that was there and how that impacted your shift as well. But I'm even more curious now because I want to know from like this emotional standpoint, what that was like for you, that experience being someone that is so confident and so embodied. So can you just talk about that chunk for a little bit? That pivot is very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? I mean, again, everything is connected.
Yeah.
Right. And so I look back on the years of college and I think the dance. So we have physics and dance, right? Those are the two things I was doing simultaneously. When you look at physics, I was experiencing sexism in a way that I was told that I was not rigid enough, right? That I was not serious enough, that I had professors that were like, no one will take you seriously if you keep acting like a dancer. Like,
oh, shit.
You shouldn't wear this to your honors thesis. I was like wearing a skirt with a slit. I also like I had a knee injury. I couldn't even fit on pants. And I got reprimanded for wearing a skirt with a slit on it for my honors thesis, where I've already written 2 papers that have been published. Oh, yeah. So on one side, in the physics world, I was told that I was not rigid enough, right? That I was not serious enough, that I was not, those are the only words for it. And that was really painful.
Yeah.
Simultaneously in the dance world, I was too rigid. I was in these improvisational spaces, and these spaces that were meant to open your mind and get you free. But for some reason, I was never free enough. And it was always, someone once called me, you're the Energizer Bunny. Like, you're just like, you're rushing too much. You're not letting go enough. I can't even find the words for it, because I'm now looking back and realizing I was experiencing two sides of the same coin. Like, I was too commercial for the dance world, the improvisational dance world.
Yeah.
I was too rigid and commercial. And in the physics world, I was too loose. And that messed with my mind.
I would imagine. Right? How did you navigate that?
I'm going to say that I wasn't navigating it well. Looking back, I'm sure we all experience it if we're meditating, or if we're in some class where they're telling you to relax and your mind's racing. You're like, am I relaxing right? Oh my goodness, am I doing this right? How long should I be doing this? Like, I was experiencing those spirals for sure. And it probably did affect my performance as a dancer, and maybe affect where I was going. And it really affected my confidence. Yeah. Because I think, especially when there's a group mentality and you're not perfectly fitting into that box, you think there's something wrong with you. And I think that's kind of where I was. And again, this I think happens when you're in your early 20s, you're still figuring it out. You're not confident. You don't know where your path is yet. And I always felt like I didn't fit in, both in the physics world and now looking back in the dance world as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Very interesting. How did you decide? Like, what was the moment, or was there a moment? What drew you in one direction?
I mean, I think what drew me in this scenario, the dance one is probably less serious, right? I think the dance one was more of an internal battle. It wasn't the same as physics telling me that I need to change and can't be the right person. And so I was drawn to dance, and I had a little bit more hope in it because I had a little bit more love in it. And so of course I had to follow the dance. I had to follow the movement. I had to follow the performing.
Yeah. Did you ever look back? Did you ever like were there any regrets, or was it just like your body told you kind of thing, or you just naturally organically? No regrets.
Yeah, I think by then I had graduated, I'd moved to New York, and I had at least found people that had a similar outlook as me for the time being.
Right.
It was easier to find allies as a dancer than it was as a physicist, and just jobs in general. Like I would have had to still be in school. I'd have to be curious about something.
Yep.
By the time I had moved to New York, I at least started learning how to follow the energy and how to follow the good energy.
What did that feel like? Right.
I think still tough. I even today I find myself in places where I recognize the energy is wrong, but in my mind I still want it so bad, and I still think it's right, so I still push against it.
Wow.
And so you're still always on that balance beam of chasing after what you want, having a vision, having a goal, having a 3, 5, 10-year plan. But then being able to be flexible and scrap it if all of a sudden a better option comes along, or a better energetic force pushes you left or right.
Well, you're so connected to all of that energy. So I would imagine, as tough as it is, you're like familiar with that ebb and flow. It's interesting. I would love for you to answer that. And then I want to go to the pandemic, because the pandemic and your turning point is so big. I think that there's like a lot of people that feel that way. It's like that push and pull, that seesaw. It's like this way or that way, and don't know what to do. Like, what would you say to someone that was battling that like energetic pull in either direction and just not knowing what to do?
Yeah, the first thing that comes to mind is ride the wave. Surf it, baby.
Yeah, let's go. I
Surf it,
that.
babe.
I picture it. Yeah.
There are always going to be ebbs and flows, and there has to be.
Yeah.
There literally has to be. If your life was only positive, you would actually only feel negative, right? I am a huge fan of the yin yang symbol. because there is something so important about the ebb and flow, the natural ebb and flow, mind you. We'll get there. So what I say is, if it's a wave that you can surf, and I think inside our hearts we know when it's a surfable wave, you surf it, and it's going to be a little scary at the top and the bottom.
Oh,
but go with it.
I love this analogy.
However, there are some times where you know that there is some outside force, let it be an employer, let it be a partner, let it be a person, let it be an outside force that is not a person, that is making those waves bigger. And those ebbs unnaturally bigger and smaller. And when you finally are able to realize that feeling in the pit of your stomach, when you know that is an unnaturally high wave caused by something that is not good, you need to learn how to walk away. And again, it is something that I am dealing with. I even wrote a Post-it note. Like, my Post-it note is, I will not abandon myself this year.
Oh,
I wrote it on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. Because when you're still learning this journey, and when you're younger, you will abandon yourself to continue riding that wave that you think is right. And that is when you lose yourself. And that is when you lose the goal. That is when you will less likely find what is meant for you, because now you have abandoned your core values for an unnatural wave.
I love it.
I'm working on it.
I just fucking adore you. And you're so wise. You're so in tune, and you're such an example. And I love your energy for all generations. Like, truly, you're speaking to my generation, and you're speaking to the younger generation. And you're just perfectly placed. Okay. So the pandemic.
Great.
Let's talk about this.
Great. So yeah, me surfing my wave.
Yes.
Right? How'd the bass thing happen? I think it was, I was having dreams about it. Yeah. This narrative has changed now that I've been doing it for a while. So what happened? My dance career wave was ending. It was really sad. I was going through a tough time. I think when you tie yourself to an identity and a name, I'm a dancer. And all of a sudden you are not dancing, right? You're dancing at shows, but you're not performing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm having an identity crisis. I'm really low, but I'm finding love in music. And I had been a Fish fan for years. I'd started seeing Fish in 2010. Now I've seen 160 shows.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. I throughout this entire timeline, I was a Fish fan. And right before the pandemic, I was seeing a lot of Fish shows up close. And my friends and I were always on the side of Mike Gordon, who's the bass player.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just watch him. I would just watch Mike. And, 100 shows later, maybe less, and most of them up front, watching the bass, in my mind, I said, oh, I could do that. I get that. That makes complete sense to me. What he is doing, I could do that.
Oh my God.
And then I started having dreams about what if I played the bass? Just like, what if I could do it? Like, could I do it? Yes. I could totally do it. But like, what if I could do it?
Wow.
And at the time, me and my ex-boyfriend were living together, and he owned a bass, and we had a bass and an amp in the house. And there was one day, and this was like right before the pandemic, I asked him, hey, can you teach me how to turn the bass on? I just want to try. And we always make the joke that all he did was teach me how to turn it on. And so he taught me how to turn the bass on, and he taught me how to read bass tabs online, which is just symbols where it's like a little diagram of the strings, and it gives little numbers of what fret your finger should be on. So it's like a 3, a 5, and it's like, whatever. He taught me how to read a tab, taught me how to turn the bass on, and walked away.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is again probably January 2020. Maybe a little bit before. And he would start coming home, and I'd be like, look, I learned a whole Fish song. And he'd be like, what?
My God.
Okay. And so I had this like mini passion of just learning Fish songs.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it, and I couldn't get enough. And so then 2020 hits. And I think at the time I was working at this amazing dance studio called Forward Space that's run by Kristen Sudeikis, who's Jason Sudeikis' sister. And it's all like dance fitness in a club-like environment. And so there's strobe lights and there was loud music. I know we should go together.
Yes, please.
Still family. So I was working at Forward Space. I was working at a restaurant. Of course, all those things shut down and I have nothing to do. And so I'm like, all right, all day, every day, I guess I could just learn bass. And it was fun having a partner in the house, and we would learn whole Fish albums, and we would learn whole Grateful Dead albums. And all of a sudden, for the first time in my life, I was a full-time artist because I had no side jobs. I'd been living in New York City for, I don't know, 4 years. I don't remember now. Now the time is weird. But I was a dancer. I was a server. I was working at a Pilates studio. I really had other jobs. Now all of a sudden I wasn't a dancer, but I was a full-time musician, and I just had unlimited time to learn music.
Wow.
And I remember TikTok had just started. Like, people had just started being on TikTok, and I started a TikTok account, and originally I was going to post dance videos on it, but I soon learned that I could record bass right into TikTok.
Oh.
And I made a bunch of really cool friends that way. Even my roommate who I live with now, we met on TikTok, and she's an amazing musician. And me and a bunch of these strangers started the first ever digital Grateful Dead cover band, where we'd each one by one add a piece of a song together.
Wait, how did the Grateful Dead come into this? Because you were like doing Fish. And
yeah,
then...
I think I just...
Yeah.
It's just easier. There's just more people playing it. So I think the Grateful Dead came on because people were posting Grateful Dead guitar covers on TikTok.
Okay.
And I was just able to add bass on top.
Got it. Okay.
And so we started doing Grateful Dead covers on TikTok.
Oh my God.
And that's how I learned all the Grateful Dead songs.
Oh my God. And
so So,
I mean, it's
so
like
that's part one of the bass story. I taught myself
okay,
bass, yeah.
that is so. Here's something that you and I were talking about briefly before, that like somatic intelligence that really came through for you. I would love for you to just talk about that a little bit, because this whole podcast is about awakening the intelligence systems within ourselves to know that we have so much more power than we think. The kinesthetic, emotional, and somatic intelligence is what I primarily focus on, even though there's others. And you house so many intelligence systems and you tap into them. And this ability, kinesthetically, really, I mean, you used your body to help you learn this art form that has now created such success for you. I mean, that's a natural intelligence that so many people don't tap into. So I'm wondering if you can speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, totally. It's really cool because, right, this all starts as me being a dancer, which is full body. That's a full body somatic experience.
Absolutely.
Right? You are using every part of your body to analyze every part of a song. So that's the way I think of it as a dancer, right? I was already taking rhythmic analysis classes and choreographing dances where my arms were the guitar, my legs were the bass. Again, it's not as cut and dry.
Right.
But the way I look at dance is you're analyzing music with your body. Full body.
That is an
Analyzing
incredible
full song.
definition. As a dance educator, I've never heard that before, and I fucking love it. Go ahead.
Cool. So that in itself is a study and a practice. Right. And I think having been trained in that for 30 years,
right,
of course informs the way that I play music now. Because all of a sudden I'm only using one part of my body to do one part of the song.
Right.
And again, I shouldn't say, oh, it's one thing is easier than the other, but it all informs other parts. So this is all using fine motor skills or gross motor skills to either analyze or create now rhythmic patterns. And I feel that my biggest strength actually as a bass player has nothing to do with all the fancy tricks, any fancy licks. It's actually my ability to ground myself in the groove and in the rhythm.
Yes.
And as a dancer, that's all it is, right? As you know, as a dancer, one of the first things we do in a dance class is we center ourselves, we ground ourselves in the groove.
Yeah.
And just as in dance improvisation, there are no wrong answers. You can ground yourself in a groove and make choices and follow the vibe. I've found that as a bass player, if I am truly rooted and grounded in the groove, there is not a single wrong note I can play. And I didn't even make that up. That's something that Victor Wooten says. I think it's like one of the first things he talks about usually.
Right.
When he's talking about bass is groove first. And if you are there is not you can play any note in any scale and any key because you are in it. You are inside the music.
Okay. I love this because this applies not only to your story and this specific example, but to everyone, whether you're a speaker, whether you're a teacher, whether you are a coach or a lawyer, like whoever you are, it's about instinct. And it's about that body intelligence and really being able to connect to it on a deep, deep somatic level. And the thing is that the trust is essential, right? Building that trust within ourselves to follow that groove, to follow that intuition, to lead ourselves into the story, into the music, into whatever it is you're doing, into the game that you're playing, onto the field, whatever the path is. It's like when we can learn how to listen deeply to that intelligence within us and follow it, magic happens. And that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. The word that comes to mind is your lizard brain.
Talk about that.
It's the subconscious part. It's that subconscious control.
Yeah.
And that innate, you can call it muscle memory. I just like the word lizard brain because it makes you like, you see all these animals moving so gracefully. It's not like they're analyzing any move that they're doing. They're moving because they need to. They're moving because it's the impulse, because it's just what they have to do.
It's innate. Yeah.
It's innate. Exactly. And so as a performer, and I guess, in life decisions,
right,
the thoughts get in the way.
Right.
The overthinking gets in the way.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're thinking, someone told me, if you're thinking, you're not playing. And so if you're thinking, you're not deciding. And so tapping into the lizard brain and that coming out of just pure trust is what makes, I think, the experience not only just more enjoyable, but produces better results. And I think any musician will say that. Musicians would call it flow state, call it whatever. There's so many different words for it, but it's that we're chasing that same feeling that everyone gets when they're in the right place at the right time with the right people, eating the right food, feeling like everything is piecing together perfectly. That feeling that everyone knows when you meet your soulmate and you're like staring into each other's eyes. I don't know. There's like so many experiences where you just feel centered, and that's the flow state.
Yeah, I love that so much. And I'm coming back to the trust and the ability to really hear that, because like you said, there's so much conditioning. And that's the piece that really stays in it's like we need to get the subconscious to meet the conscious and then create the grounded perspective that we are, the truth of who we are. And so I find, and I know probably people are listening going, I want that. I want that flow state. How do I get that flow state? And it is a practice. It is. You don't have to be a dancer to arrive in your purpose, right? That's not what we're saying.
No,
it's like you don't have to be so connected. There's no timing, and it all works. So like start right now. So to start connecting to that, to your body, to the wisdom, to the intuition, to follow the gut instinct that pulls you on the stage. Or like you said, I love that you were out in that club, dancing and giving other people permission. Like maybe look around and see someone doing it, and then you feel better or safer. It's creating that safety to trust, right?
Safety. Yeah, totally. Yeah. My first idea was exactly kind of what you're saying, but the way I was thinking of it is, like forgive yourself,
right?
Allow yourself to be you. I mean, everyone loves to use the word cringe. But I think it is cringe is a code word for authenticity, quirky authenticity. I don't know. That's the way I'm trying to use it. Yeah, like giving yourself the permission to be imperfect and messy. And then again, going back to my phrase of the year, in not abandoning yourself. And not abandoning that first intuition, even if it's quirky, even if it's weird,
right?
Even if you're feeling uncomfortable in it. I think at the beginning of all my somatic practices, like I kind of felt silly, right? The first time you're in a dance class or a Gaga class and you're, I don't know, pretending that your spine is a snake and you're trying to be seaweed, like you kind of feel a little silly at first. And again, you're having these like thoughts of like, yes, am I doing this right? What do I look like? What are they doing? And that practice of knowing that you're being silly and understanding that those thoughts are okay, but leaning into it and trying out new things.
Yeah, leaning into it, because look what happens on the other side. Yeah. Your greatest, most authentic voice shines through. And then it goes back to what you said. It's like you give permission to other people to do the same. So like really it's a movement that we're talking about here. This is not just like a one story, one message. This is truly a movement to awaken the intelligence, that somatic knowing within ourselves so that we can be fully us, to then give permission to more people. So it spreads and spreads and spreads, because authenticity, like you said, is really the key. Like we want to hear authentic voice, right? Go ahead. What were you going to say?
And then exactly what you're saying. And this is how we build community.
Right.
This is like the bare bones of how to create community.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. I need you to tell people how they can see you, what is coming up for you. You're incredible. You are climbing so gracefully, and people are just going to see you on a million stages. Okay, tell us.
Okay, so now I'm a bass player.
Yes, but you're also a dancer. Like you guys, you have to go see this woman perform. Like she's mesmerizing because you are dancing. You are the instrument.
Oh, totally. I do splits on stage. Yeah.
Of course. And I love the angle that you do. Like a lot of times, is that on purpose? Or is that just like, here's my phone and it's like, this is a good place to put it?
It started not on purpose, but now I lean into it. Again, if you just follow the energy, things like happy accidents.
Okay, we need to, wrap this up in a second, but I really love that. Can you just speak to that for a minute? Because that angle of the phone is like so cool. So I love knowing that it was just like, okay, I'm going to place this here. And now it's part of the thing. Yeah. Talk about that. Because that is following the flow.
Yeah. So you're talking, you're talking about my base camp series where I put my phone on the ground and I take videos of me playing and I post it and people get to see like a really cool behind the scenes angle of me playing. And it and as many things, even this bass career, started as a happy accident. And it's a combination of like rule one in my life is show up and say yes, right? Fake it till you make it, whatever, all those things you can say. But I think a lot of us get caught up, especially as creatives, of, we need to come up with the next big idea, right? Like, this song has to be the best. This business proposal needs to be earth-shattering. But you forget that a lot of these things, creativity, you're pulling something from the ether, this unknown from the ether. And so I've always found that my best bass lines I've written, the best ideas, this bass can, this fit check really just happened because I just did something one day and it stuck. So the invitation is just do things. Even if they don't feel perfect, like that angle is like, it's weird. It's some videos like on paper, it doesn't work, but it really does. So again, do not forget that creativity. And Trey Anastasia will say this. He says it's about songwriting. It's writing a good song is like getting hit by a train. But in order to get hit by a train, you have to hang out on the train tracks. Brilliant guy. Love him.
Oh my God.
So let's live our lives on these proverbial train tracks of just doing things and not overthinking them, lizard braining them. I put the phone down. All I did was put the phone down. Put the phone down. I mean, don't put it down. Put it down to film yourself. Yeah, that's a confusing way to put it. But
right.
Do it. Just do it. Just do something. Just again, I'm like all these like wise people are coming to my brain. Good ideas and bad ideas come from the same place. I had a director tell me that once. So why not just do things?
Is there a bad idea, do you think? I mean, I guess there's a bad idea.
There's less interesting ideas, less catchy ideas.
Right. True. But just do it.
But just do it. Just do it.
I love it. You're incredible. I'm so excited to be on this journey with you. I invite every single person listening, tell your friends, have them listen to this podcast, because this is truly, this story, your journey has been so inspirational. And I'm excited for you. I'm just excited for all that you're doing. So thank you for your voice. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your vulnerability.
Thank you. Amazing. Yeah. And follow me online. Sara Elaz.
Did you tell us? Did you tell us how to follow you? Oh, you need to tell us, please.
Sara, that's my name. Just search my name. I also have an original band called Boojum. And we put on immersive theatrical jam band shows. So think of a combination of a rock opera plus an improvisational performance. We have dancers, we have lights, projections, costumes. We put on amazing shows that combine all my favorite things. We're having a huge, I don't know when this podcast is coming out, but my huge birthday show is March 27th at Brooklyn Bowl. It is going to be wild. I'm also on tour with Barely Dead, which is an amazing high energy Grateful Dead band. We go all around the country. I also have a collective called Bushwick's Dead, and we have a residency at Brooklyn Bowl. Again, if you're in New York City, we put on very exciting Grateful Dead shows, but I'm always doing more and a lot. And you're going to see me. I have a lot of big things that I probably can't talk about on this coming up this year. And you will see me in a lot of unexpected, awesome places.
Oh, incredible. Woohoo! I love this conversation. Okay, everybody. We will see you next week on Wisdom from Within, where human stories awaken leadership from within. Leadership from within on all freaking levels. Oh, I love it. See you next week.
If something in this conversation spoke to you, don't keep it to yourself. Send it to someone who might need that message too. You can also send me a comment because I would love to know what it is that landed for you. But most importantly, take a moment to pause and listen to what it is that resonated, because that's where your real guidance system lives. The one you can trust, the one you can rely on. See you next week.